year in the Minnesota legislature a bill that would allow Sunday liquor sales in Minnesota. And every year it goes down to defeat, often not making it out of key committees. But supporters say this year is different, and a critical vote is expected as soon as tomorrow. This year, the bill in the House has a powerful co-sponsor, the Minnesota House Speaker, Kurt Daudt. And Kurt Daudt joins us now. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, Esme, and thank you for having me.
And we do want to get to the Sunday liquor sales. I do want to ask you, because you are amongst the most prominent
Sure.
Republicans in the state of Minnesota, your thoughts about President Trump and how he's doing.
Well, you know, I think the folks that didn't vote for him are probably not happy with him, and they're going to continue to protest, and that's okay. They have the right to do that. But ultimately, I think President Trump is doing what he said he was going to do. Maybe he doesn't always carry it out exactly the way we would like or communicate it in the best fashion, but ultimately what he's trying to do is keep Minnesotans safe and Americans safe, and I give him credit for that.
All right. You are obviously the Speaker of the House. It's pretty unusual to have a Speaker kind of throw his weight behind a bill like this, but you're one of the co-sponsors in the House. Why did you do it, and do you think it could actually pass this year?
That's right. Representative Jennifer Loon is the chief author, and she's done a great job. I think she's carried this bill for the last 4 years. We have not been able to get this bill out of committee and on the House floor in the past. We did pass it out of committee this year. In the past, it's been added as an amendment on the floor. We think that the reason it's catching steam this year is there's a broad grassroots support for it, and that pressure has been growing at the Capitol in recent years. So I think this is the year.
All right, and so you think it could actually pass tomorrow? There's a vote?
We do believe so. We're going to vote tomorrow at 3:30. We believe the votes are there. Members have spoken up and said they're going to vote for it, so we believe there probably will likely be 72 to 75 votes. It takes 68 votes to pass the bill, so we're confident that it will pass.
Yeah, and the governor has said in the past if it gets to his desk, he'll sign it. What about the Minnesota Senate? Are they on board with this?
Well, that's the unknown at this point. We don't know for sure whether the votes are there, but I think once we pass it and send it over to the Senate, obviously it will need to pass there as well. I think folks will ratchet up the pressure and call their senators, and if enough people want it and contact them, we think it'll pass there as well.
And I want to ask you about a number of other issues, but I do want to ask you, it's the little guys, the mom and pop liquor stores that are upset about this, because they say they're going to sell the same amount of liquor over 7 days, and they've got to pay for staff on that 7 day.
Well, data shows that states that have done this have actually seen an increase in sales. We understand that perspective, but we also know that Sunday is a fairly busy day for shopping. Folks are working during the week, and it's one of the busiest days for grocery shopping. We also think that if they only want to be open 6 days, maybe they can choose another day during the week to be closed if they want to. And they certainly don't have to be open on Sunday. So we certainly respect that as well. But we want, for the stores that want to be open, we want to give them that flexibility.
Okay. All right, just on the larger picture, how is your relationship with the governor? Let me ask that, because it certainly has been fractured at times.
Well, it was late last year. The governor and I ultimately respect each other, and we get along well. I would say it's good right now, and I think we understand that if we both care about Minnesotans and want to solve problems, we have to work together to get that done. And we may disagree from time to time, but ultimately, I think we do have a good relationship.
And will things get done? I mean, can you avoid a special session and get things done that you couldn't get last year that have to get done this year?
You know, we feel like it. I remember the last time there was a state government shutdown, we were in a $5 or $6 billion deficit. Now we've got a $1.4 billion surplus. I think that will actually improve in the February forecast. I actually am pretty optimistic about us having the ability to get things done and to make compromise and agreement to do what's best for Minnesotans. We've pushed up our deadlines a little bit earlier so that our bills are going to be passed out of committee earlier, which will give more time to work with the governor to work out any differences.
No last-minute midnight crunch?
We're hoping not, but you know, regardless of who's in control of the legislature for the last 20 years, it seems like there's always been a final midnight crunch. It's also part of what allows us to get our stuff done here in Minnesota. Congress in Washington doesn't have a final deadline, and it seems like they never really get things done. So there are downsides to it, but also a benefit to having a final deadline. But we're going to try to avoid crunching things up at the end.
Well, we'll see. We'll be watching.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
All right.